Hey, good morning there, Jim. You got it right. Here's the short straw, WHJAX, portable pedestrian. I've got 3 gals with me this morning. First one.
Good morning, Jim. It's KAJAX here, along with
MISSY, Missy.
Hey, good morning there, Jim. We're on our walk this morning, and it's clear skies down here in Jacksonville. 55 degrees going up to the mid-70s, and northern Ohio gets 2 minutes and 45 seconds more of daylight today than yesterday. And the bad news, though, is you guys have now maxed out on the rate of daylight gain per day. You'll have 2 minutes and 45 seconds of gain for the next 2 weeks. But then the gain continues, but not as fast after that. So anyway, as of today, since the end of December, you've gained 2 hours and 40 minutes total of daylight. So that's northern Ohio. Not so much down here in Florida. A little slower on our rate of gain. So back to you there, Jim. WHJAX, portable pedestrian.
Well, really, I feel sorry for you, Rod, because you're inundated with females down there. You got Wendy, the hula hoop champion. We got Missy, the world and universe traveler. And we got Lucy, the sniffer, the one that checks all the neighborhood. But you're in good company there. So all 3 of you, take care, and of course the kids. And Missy, yeah, you be careful out there running around that you don't find some place nicer. No, there is no place nicer than down there where you guys are at. So you take care, Rod, Wendy, and always be safe, be careful, be well. Well, we gotta. I'm gonna try for Nancy here. Yeah, I think I'll try for Nancy. So you guys take care, and we'll go for Nancy. KI5 OZZ WB8 VMW. Well, we didn't get Nancy, and I still got about 6 minutes. I'm going to try for KI5 SSR WB8 VMW. Good morning, Jeanette. Are you up this morning? Okay. Well, now we'll go back to Oklahoma. K5 CFY WB8 VMW. Good morning, Ray. Is Fred sleeping? I heard you this morning. I think you got on your walk, didn't you? Before you didn't get blowed away, did you?
WB8 VMW K5 CFY. Good morning, everybody. Good to hear everybody out there this morning. Nope, we didn't get blown away. We made it out on the walk. Fred actually found a rabbit this morning, the first one we found in a long time. But anyway, he chased it in its hidey hole and didn't want to leave. But I finally got him to leave it alone, and we came back, and he's napping. So anyway, good to hear you, Jim, and all the other folks out there. It looks like it's going to be a pretty nice day. 45 degrees, supposed to get to 70. So with that, I'll give it back to you, Jim, and we'll say 73 to you. K5 CFY.
All righty, Ray. Well, Fred was probably happy to chase a rabbit again. You know, it's nice. I'd love to sit and hear a couple of those old bugle mouth beagles out there chasing a rabbit, just like music. Alrighty, well, we got time this morning. KB8LJ, WB8 BMW. How about it at Bedstead Corners this morning? How about it, LJ? Are you up this morning? Well, Saturday morning is a time to sleep in. So I don't know if I missed somebody or somebody didn't get a hold of that wants to jump in and say good morning. We still got about 3 minutes before, let me see, I think it's Stephen comes in this morning, if I'm not mistaken. Anybody wants to jump in and say good morning? We got 3 minutes to do so.
Kilo Alpha 8, Mike, November Tango.
Good morning, Tom. I thought maybe you was out and you got blowed away and you just on your way back. So how did the critters do? Did any of them get blowed into the next county? KA8MNT, WB8VMW.
WB8 VMW, this is KA8MNT. Well, Jim, they all survived, and they went out and inspected the damage, and they turned out everything was okay, and they even threw a little party late last night just to celebrate that they didn't have to rebuild, so they were all happy. So that's the way that goes. I'm not going to be on the net today because I'm in the process of getting ready to go over to Maslin, so we have a VE session this morning, and I get to go and register folks, so I'll be over there during the balance of the net. So with that, I'm going to turn everything back over to you, Jim. This is KA8MNT, back to WB8VMW.
W8WKY.
All righty, Tom. Well, missed you this morning, but I'm glad you chimed in there because we get worried when the regulars don't show up. All righty, Tom. Well, when the guys register in, say, be sure to learn your CW. And they'll say, what CW? What is CW? All righty, Tom. You take care. Take it easy. All righty. We don't have time now. We only got 30 seconds before Mr. Stephan takes over. So I'll go ahead and get him in here, and he can make it all nice and legal-like. NHWB, WB8VMW looking. Well, if you want to come in, Stephan, and take it over and straighten it out and make me a happy camper, I can go give me some bacon-flavored oatmeal. So, WB8VMW, sitting and listening.
And I'm here late, Jim. WB6DJN.
Okay, Mark. Yeah, I heard you, but I think it was supposed to be Stephan, but who was supposed to take over the net this morning? Was I right? It was Stephan, or somebody else going to take it? I don't know. Well, we'll go ahead with WB6BJN until somebody comes up that is supposed to run the Saturday net. WB6BJN, WB8BMW. Good morning, Mark and Sarah. How's everything down in Clarksville? We're listening.
Hey, everything everything's fine here today, Jim. It's going to be warmer today, going to be in the 70s. And I just wanted to let you know that you could put me on that list that you turn over to whoever's going to do it. It's about 42 degrees, and the barometer's down to about 30.05, or actually up to 30.05 this morning. They're talking about some pretty interesting weather starting tomorrow. We'll talk to you later. WB6DJ, and we'll stand by.
All right, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we hear you, Stefan. You have a little mechanical problem there?
Well, our power went off last night. I'm sure that you heard that, people said, and I thought everything was set up right, but apparently something happened with my RF, so I jumped on the Allstar, the clear node. So I'll run the net from the clear node this morning. If everybody can hear me, I'll start it up in just 1 second. Also, I was saying earlier before Phil texted me, is I have 2 battery tenders. I heard your conversation, but I use the Noco Genius as well. I like that better. It does a lot more than the battery tenders. But anyways, give me 1 second. I'll start this up.
All righty, Stefan. Well, let me see. Well, it was a pretty good morning this morning, and we had a few of them all set up and everything. And yeah, my neighbor tree blew down. It was a small one, about 20 feet tall, old. Not as quite as old as I am, but it was an old tree, and it shaded. And now it's resting. It's going to be in somebody's fireplace, I think. All righty, well, back up, and if you want to get things started and make it all official, I'll back up, and you go ahead and get it official. I'll give my last words, and then I'll head for the kitchen. So if you're ready, Stefan, take it away, and I'll be sitting by and listening.
CQ, this is NAWB calling CQ for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Saturday Barometer Net. I'll be your net control this morning. My name is Stefan, Sierra Tango, Echo Papa Hotel, Echo November, and my call sign is November 8 Whiskey Bravo. Our repeater call is W8WKY. This is a control net, and all traffic must pass through net control. Emergency traffic may break into this net at any time. That is exactly what we are about in amateur radio, is emergency communication. So yes, all of our nets are free to break into. Sarah meets on this repeater every morning, 7 a.m. except Sunday. This net is open to all licensed amateurs, and any amateur is encouraged to check in and join us. PO for this repeater is 114 Mark 8. Also, good morning to all of our listeners, no matter where you're located. I'll send it over to Jim one more time, and then I'll take some mobile and short-time check-ins. But before I take the check-ins, I will read off who I already have. If you hear your name once I read that list off, you don't need to check in again unless something has changed. Jim, one more time, WB8 BMW. Good to hear you this morning. Like I said, I use the Noco Genius as well as the battery tenders. Like them a little bit better, but I also have a rig expert. I heard you said you need someone to test out your antenna. So if you can't get him, just let me know, and I can even let you use it or whatever. But oh, great, I'll send it back. WB8 BMW. Great to have you, Jim.
Oh, hey, Stefan. Well, back, let me see, when I was with Ryder and out at Wadsworth, Crown Battery, you know, he offered me one of the tow motor batteries. You know, they started getting rid of all of the big battery tow motors, and they had a warehouse full of actually brand new tow motor batteries. He says, if you want one of these here batteries, he says, for $50, he says, I'll sell you one of these batteries, and I'll deliver it, you know, and set it up in your bomb shelter. And that battery, it was big. It probably weighed 300 pounds. And it was a lead acid. That's the last thing I wanted was a lead acid battery in my bomb shelter, charging and putting me to sleep or something. So, alrighty, Stephen, we'll turn it over to you. And everybody out there, be safe and stay healthy. And we'll catch you, good Lord willing, we'll be here next week to aggravate, educate, and well, just make a pain of myself. 7 trees, and I'm headed for the kitchen. Over to you, Stephen. NAWB, WB8 BMW.
WB8 BMW, November 8 Whiskey Bravo. Thank you, Jim, for all that you do for the club and for keeping the repeater warm in the morning. We do appreciate that. Yeah, I looked at one going down to Tennessee a few years ago. I stopped into a marina there, and they had some of those big houseboat batteries sitting on the floor. They were about 6 feet long, 48 volts or something like that. But I didn't want to let acid. And I heard John this morning talking about batteries. He was going down N8YMY. I'll call him in a little bit. And I didn't hear what the conversation was. He was getting a new one. I don't know if he said it was for his amateur radio station or not, but I would have suggested Liverpool 4 for amateur. That's what I use. So anyways, other than that, appreciate it, Jim. And I'm going to be using NetLogger this morning, netlogger.org. If you're interested in getting it, you can like it, you can install it. And if you see it, you look for the Saturday Sarah Barometer Net. I got to check really quick what I named it because, yes, Saturday Barometer Net W8WKY is what you want to look for when you're checking in. All right. I'm going to take some check-ins in just a moment. Before I do that, I'm going to read my list of stuff that I have so far. And if you hear your name on the list, you need not check in unless the situation has changed. And the JAXs with Missy and Lucy, I'll get back with you guys first once I'm done with the next short-time mobile check-in. We had WB8 BMW, Jim, N8YMY, John, W8GXX, Tom, N8WS, Bill, K8VOX, Scott, K5, CFY Ray. We had N9TMJJ, KC8FQV, Mark, KZ8TG, Tim. We had K8PMI, Phil, AC8AT, John, KE8MMY, Chris, KE8SFS, Mark. We had KE8HNK, Elmer. Good morning, Elmer. He's in and out this morning, he said. At A8CT, Craig, KD8VSH, Randy. We had W8JX and K8JX, Rod and Wendy. I'll get back to you first after my check-ins. And then we had K8MNT, who said he was in and out as well. Have a good VE session, Tom. Man, I'm a little bit froggy right there. And I got a VE for our club the first Saturday of April. And then yours truly here, N8WB. So I'm going to be taking some check-ins. Mobile short time, please let me know if you are mobile or short time. Also let me know if you are in and out, and I'll get you on the list accordingly. Please give me your call sign phonetically, followed by alphanumerically. Phonetically first, alphanumerically. My lips would work. That would be great. And that helps me get you a little bit easier on the log. So please call W8WKY if you'd like to check in. Short time mobile, please. Short time mobile.
W8WKY. This is Whiskey Alpha 8, Kilo Oscar Charlie, WA8 KOC, Fred and Akron. I'll be in and out this morning. Stefan, have a great net. 7-3 to you and everyone else.
NAWB in the net. Whiskey 8 Tango Delta. W8TD. John from Wadsworth. Short time, please.
N8YMY, November 8 Yankee Mike Yankee John. I'm going to be in and out this morning, Steph, and I'm at my destination. I'm going to go and get some breakfast. So 7-3s. Have a great net.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Delta Tango Alpha, in and out.
And Steve, this is Stefan. This is Mark, WB6DJ, and don't add me to this list, but put me at the bottom of your early list. I checked in before you got back on WB6BJN.
All right, let me pick it up there. All right, we picked up WA8KOC, Fred, in and out. We do appreciate that, Fred. Thank you so much for that. And good to hear you, my friend. We'll get in touch soon. W8TD, John. We'll get to you right after the JAXs. We had KF8DTA. I didn't get a name on that, but I will in a minute when I plug it in. And we had WB6BJN, Mark, I believe. And then we'll get to you, Mark. And, you know, it doesn't matter, Mark, because this short list was just in and out short time. So I'll keep you where you're at. And then when we get to the list, you'll basically be at the bottom of this list in the first place. So let me jump on the JAXs, and then we'll get our short time John, and then I'll run up to the top, and you'll be at the bottom of the regular list, like you said. So WA8, JAX, and KJX, and I believe you got Missy and Lucy there, too. It's like a full house. You are up, my friends. It's great to have you here today.
Hey, good morning there, Stefan. Here is W8JAX Portable Pedestrian. You are right. I've got Miss Missy and Miss Wendy and Miss Lucy here with me this morning.
Good morning, Stefan. This is K8JAX, along with...
Good morning, Stefan. It's Missy.
Anyway, we're on our walk this morning, and the sun's beginning to rise now under clear skies here at 55 degrees is what we're starting out with, going up to the mid-70s, and the ocean temperature is 63 degrees and 6-foot seas out there. And I'm anxious to hear where John is on his exotic cruising. Wendy and I love to cruise, but we never go to exotic places like John does. So I'm anxious to hear where he's at. So I will turn it back to you. Thanks for giving us a call there, Stefan. W8JAX Portable Pedestrian.
W8JAX, KJX, Lucy, and Missy. We do appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much for joining us always. And I'm sure you guys are going to have to spread the love in the sense of let Missy know that hamstudy.org is a great place to look. If you got some time sometime. Hamstudy.org, you can get your license. It's not hard. And I'll bet you any money. I'll bet you $100 that you can probably take your test down in Florida. Yeah, that might be a close one, but I'll bet you could probably take your VE test down in Florida and then get your own radio also, and then you can talk anytime you want to. But it's great to hear you this morning, and it's great people that you're with, Rod and Wendy. So thanks for being on the net, all of you. W8TD, W8WKY. John, you're up. Short time. It's great to have you here today.
Well, good morning, Gary and the net. WWKY and all W8TD. Well, not a great deal to report. I can't give you a location because for some reason on this ship they don't put the coordinates anywhere on the TV that we can see in the cabins. And I'm in a cabin, which means my GPS isn't working here. But we're somewhere around Hilo, Hawaii. Supposed to be approaching it right now in preparation for docking in the next few hours. But due to a combination of flooding on the island, which has closed a lot of the things that would normally have been visited, and the fact that the winds are prohibitive or predicted to be prohibitive of docking, we're giving it a pass and skipping it. We will proceed onward to what was to have been our second stop, which is Honolulu, tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon your time. It's around 1:15 here, so that's the time difference. So we're just hovering out here in the ocean somewhere, staying out of the wind. It's been a nice crossing. This crossing was far more pleasant than the Pacific crossing we did in October, when it was absurdly cold and windy the entire time. It's been very pleasant here. So I was supposed to be off today and the next several days while we're visiting ports, but since we're not visiting a port, today has become a sea day, and I will be speaking today on the topic of observing our sun, which was scheduled to be done on the way home. So I'll have to pick one of my extra things and shuffle it into the sequence. That's everything I know. Everybody stay safe, stay warm. Expect to be home eventually, and looking forward to talking to people. NAWB on the net. Whiskey 8 Tango Delta. Maritime Mobile, sort of.
W8TD, W8WKY, we do appreciate you, John. I got to look into that. I really do. To look into do training things, see what I could do. That would be kind of cool. I'd like that. Plus, I do magic too, so maybe I could do something like that. But anyways, that's great, man. That's really great. My father used to do talks about the sun all the time. He was a custodian in Solon, but then when my brother was born, he had to do talks on both of the sons. So, but I'm sure they were good because he was a great man, and I loved my dad. But he's gone 2019. But great to hear you, my friend. It's really, really good to hear you, and that you're keeping in touch there. And over there, you know, if you need to, you can probably swim from the boat if you're near Florida. So I'm just saying, you know, if you had to, or if you want to, or if you want to break ship. Camp 8 DTA was in and out. We do appreciate that. Jeffrey, appreciate that. I've got a name there, and I'm going to move up to the top of our list. I'll get Mark, like he said, when I get a little bit later down the list that we had. N8YMY, John, was in and out, said he reached his destination, so I want to say thank you to him. And we're going to move over to W8GXX, W8WKY. Tom, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here this morning.
W8WKY.
Thanks, Stefan. Yeah. Thanks for being there. Hope you had a good week. And got a nice weekend going forward here. Have a good one, and we'll catch you. N8WB, W8GXX Mobile.
W8GXX, W8WKY. We do appreciate you, Tom. Always good to hear you, my friend. And maybe one of these days I'll see you at one of our meetings again. Haven't seen you in a while at a Sarah meeting, but it was always good. When we were at the Green Diamond, it used to be nice seeing you when we were down there, but it might have been closer to your house. But, yeah, it's great. It's great always hanging out with you. All right, moving over to a friend of mine who the first person I met in amateur radio, believe it or not, is this person right here. And he had his call sign before I did, but we're so close. And the late Russ, who I just got the message for, a UPA who just passed, I just got that message, became a silent key, used to call us Whiskey, Weather Station and Weather Bureau. NAWS, W8WKY. Bill and Judy, it's great to have you here, my friend. I'll call him one more time because sometimes he said that he has fallen asleep by the radio. So, Bill, if you hear the sound of my voice, it's not that peaceful, lulling, putting you to sleep. It's the guy who's saying, get up and get on the radio. NAWS, if you're still around, I'll call you a little bit later if you're not. All right, I'll bet you he fell asleep, but we'll jump back up to him in a little bit. We're going to move over to K8VOX, W8WKY. Scott, you're up, my friend, down there in Vermilion, over there in Vermilion, in Erie County. Great to have you here this morning, Scott.
Good morning, Stefan. Good morning, all our listeners. This is KEH-VOX, Scott up here on the shores of Lake Erie in Vermilion, Ohio. Well, we're starting off today a whole lot better than what yesterday morning and afternoon and evening was. The winds died down a bit. but we're starting out at 32.4. Humidity's at 67%. Barometer's on the rise at 29.88. And we got wind out of the north. Well, right now it's bopping back and forth between 18 and 7 miles an hour. And that's giving us about 3 foot, well, maybe just under 3 foot waves out there on the lake. And the lake temperature is still creeping up. It's now 36.1 degrees out there. Still a bit chilly for me to go swimming, but at least it's getting warmed up. And on the blue screen, talking about the Toledo Ham Fest and Tony Paco's, almost changed my busier than heck right now. So I'm probably not going to make it, but I sure want to, because it's been a while since I've had one of Tony Paco's hot dogs, and they're pretty good hot dogs. But that's all I got, Stefan. Thanks for doing the net, and thanks for getting me in, and everybody have a great day. N8WB, KE8VOX.
KE8VOX, W8WKY, we do appreciate you, Scott. Always, my friend. It's always great to have you here. And, yeah, Mark in the AIM window for NetLogger apparently didn't know, FQV didn't know who Tony Pacos was, so that's an immediate banishment from the Sarah Nets completely. I'm just kidding. But there were 2 restaurants that were actually named on MASH. One was Tony Pacos, and the other one was Adam's Ribs in Chicago, I believe it was. And that's where Hawkeye had ribs sent in from Adam's Ribs on one of the episodes, and they had to buy like 30 pounds of ribs or something, because Radar said by the time they get to them, there's a little pilferage along the way. So, anyways, and I think there was a big thing they wanted. They made sure that the coleslaw was there. It was the beans or the coleslaw. Someone remembers what that was. It was a great episode, and I'll have to go watch those again. I have the whole series on DVD. But K5, CFY, W8, WKY. Ray, it was great to hear you, my friend, this morning, and I heard what you said to Jim about the good old hound dog next to you and how he was rooting a rabbit, and you took him away, and then he fell asleep. So it's always great to hear you, Ray. You're up, my friend.
Yeah, WKY, this is K5CFY. Good morning, Stephen. Always do a great job on the net. I enjoy listening to you and talking to you. Not much going on here today. We do have the RCWA Club meeting later on this morning. So all is well. Start to get in the 70s today, so before the bottom drops out tomorrow. But it's still wintertime, I guess. But anyway, good to hear everybody out there. Hope everybody stays well. And I'll say 73. Fine business there, Stefan. K5, CFY.
K5, CFY, W8, WKY. We do appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. And, yeah, you do a great job with the boredom breaker and all that stuff. And I know I've said this before. This year's kind of finally got me a little bit freer. And one of these days I'd love to do start listening again on the boredom breaker, then maybe take a hand at it. That would be pretty fun, I think. That would just elevate me beyond the happiest person I could ever be. Maybe run the net sometime, but we'll talk about that. That would be fun. You guys do a great job, though. Yeah. Man, so much going on in amateur radio right now. N9TN, W8, WKY. JJ, if you're still here and heard what you were talking about with Jim, if you are still here, good news about all that stuff coming up to help you out with your surgery and stuff. If you're here, you're up, my friend. Well, JJ might have checked out a little bit earlier, but it was great to hear. He's got the surgery coming up to help him out with his arm and stuff, get those tendons reattached, so that was really, really good. Scopically. I forgot what the first part of that word is. I'm not a moron, but I played one on television once. When I was on the Big Chuck and Little John show. On the shores of Lake Erie. I love that when Scott used that. All right, run up real quick, see if we can shake Bill out of the trees again. And if not, we'll move over to FQV. N8, WS, W8, WKY. I'll call you, Bill, second time, but you know what? For you, I'd call you maybe 6 or 7 more. Say good morning to Judy for me. Well, I'm going to text him while I'm on the next person, just to make sure that Bill's okay and everything's fine. I just was at their house a couple weeks ago, and I saw Bill and Judy and their son Billy was home too, so I got to see all 3 of them. Very, very fine, nice people. KC8FQV, W8, WKY. Mark, that's because Tim's up next and my eyes reverted to the different place. Mark, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here this morning.
Hey, morning, Stefan. Yeah, I don't know what the spectrum is doing. This is the first time they've been down this long. They went down it flickered last night. The power did. Then I think the internet might have come back for a second. Then I don't know when it left. But it's been gone all night since last night. And I even yanked the power out of the modem and waited a minute. I'm going to go do that now again. But what I looked at was flashing between the blue and white light. So I don't know what it's doing. But yeah, the Pixel 7, I'm running through it. It's a hand warmer now. So I'm using the other phone to go through the Pixels because I can have NetLogger up. Yeah, Pixel 7 don't want to share and run the same thing. It wants to drop the DV switch, the audio. It wants to drop the connection. I don't know what's doing. It just don't want to share them both together.
Well, Mark, KC8FQV, I think something locked up there on your DV switch because it was locked for a little bit near the end, and I wasn't sure if you dropped it or not, but it was locked for about 5 seconds, I think, 5 or 6 seconds, maybe a little bit longer than that, but I don't have my watch with me. So, but it's great to hear you this morning, my friend, and be safe out there. It's going to be, at least it's better than it was the other day. Well, yesterday it started blowing wind really, really hard about 3 o'clock, and then boom, the generator went on, so I knew the power was off, and internet, everything was dead. So by the time I went to bed around midnight, I was checking the stuff out on my radio, and it seemed to work last night, but then apparently it didn't this morning, so I had to jump on the switch, the clear node, and I'm glad that I got that, and the internet was back up this morning as well. So I was very blessed to have all that stuff happen at the same time, so I could be with all of you, people that I enjoy and love to be around. KZ8TG, W8, WKY. I heard you this morning, Tim, and if you're still there, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here.
Good morning, everybody on the net. Thanks for the heads up of, a few seconds ago, so I run over here to the radio. Today's Pi Day. I don't know if anybody mentioned Pi Day, but it's, I'm kind of a circular guy myself, maybe a little too circular, and the Pi might be to blame. I don't really have anything to add, so I'll just keep on moving along here. Hope Tom does better than I did. KZ8TG.
KZ8TG. We appreciate you being here. Yeah, when I worked at Tri-C on March 14th, we used to always go out to Baker Square and get a French silk pie. And I'd bring it back, and we'd have French silk for the afternoon for Pi Day. And I think everybody's a little bit round. Well, technically, even if you're thin as a board, you're still round. I've never seen a totally flat person unless I was looking at that stupid brick game that some kids play where they're all the people are square. But great to have you here this morning, Tim. And it was good to hear you this morning talking pre-net stuff. KPMI, W8, WKY. Phil, you're up, my friends. Great to have you here today. one of my fellow net control operators for the odd Fridays of Saturday. Actually, I should be the odd Friday guy. I mean, not on those dates, but just odd. But anyways, Phil, you're up.
November 8 Whiskey Bravo, this is K8PMI, and I am odd. So, other than that, sounds like you got a good net going here. Glad we got all the bugs worked out. Yeah, that weather did play havoc on a lot of things. But, yep, looking forward to a great day today, and going to be watching the grandchild here this afternoon. So, get to take her out for dinner. Looking forward to that. Other than that, I'll send it back to you. You have a blessed day, and 73, everybody. This is K8PMI.
KPMI, W8WKY, we do appreciate you, Phil. Yeah, you have a blessed day as well, and everyone, the sound of my voice. There is a ham fest tomorrow, and I've heard a lot about it, and it is in Toledo. I was at the Medina Comms unit, and Bob Mueller and some of the guys from the Comms unit are going down to it. I didn't know about it. I just heard about it yesterday, or Thursday, I should say, when our comms meeting is. And, yeah, I was thinking about going down at some point, but I don't know about tomorrow. Tomorrow's too quick. But anyway, yeah, Phil, have a great time with the grandkids, because I just picked up my nephew yesterday from his school to take him over to his mom's school, where she works at the school, Christian Academy at the Willoughby Hills Friends Church, because he's 5 years old, but he was going through a little interview thing, because he might be able to go to school with her next year down there. Good people. I've known the church for years, Willoughby Hills Friends in that school, and his brother might go there too. So anyways, and they finally got their stuff in order, and they're going to be building their house in Geauga County off of Route 44. That'll be awesome. I'll have another place to visit. Just down the street from my fishing and maple syrup making buddies. AC8AT, W8WKY. John, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here if you're still around.
NAWB. Good morning. Top of the morning to you, Stefan. AC8AT. You know, you brought a smile to my face when you were mentioning Baker Square. I remember in Medina, we had another place called Mama Joe's, and they made the best French silk pies around. Boy, yeah, get her a little round in the waist there. Anyway, I'll let you round everybody up, Stefan. Good hearing you. And let me say, top of the morning to the whole crowd. NAWB, AC8AT.
AC8AT, W8WKY. My brain, I was looking something up, and my brain just said, hey, stop for a second. But, you made me smile, my friend, because of all that you always say when you're coming in, but especially top of the morning. And this is the top of the morning month. So, yeah, St. Patty. Top of the morning to you. So, anyways, Governor, or however they say it, Governor would be English. That's right. Someone's going to scold me, trust me. That's okay. I've been scolded before, but great to hear you, my friend, always. K8MMY, W8WKY. Chris, I heard, is going to the Toledo Ham Fest, so maybe he can give us a little bit more detail where it's located and what's the time frame and all that stuff. But, Chris, it's great to have you here this morning. K8MMY, you are up.
I'm trying to remember now. W8? No. NAWB. There we go. I'm a little rusty this morning. Good morning, Stephen. Yeah, today is Pi Day, March 14th, 3.14. And so I always celebrate Pi Day with having some actual pie because it's round. But it is also Albert Einstein's birthday, which is so coincidental, isn't it? So tomorrow is the Toledo Mobile Radio Association Ham Fest, and that is at Owens Community College, which is it's a little south. Give me a quick nickel here. Which is the Owens Community College is just a little south of Toledo. They have a great venue. It's absolutely huge. And then it's just a short little drive up the highway to get into Toledo and go to Tony Paco's. I know that my buddy Paul and I, we are the first one that we went to, and we've continued to go back, is the one that is right next to the Toledo Mud Hens baseball stadium. So there's a couple different Tony Paco's locations. We really like that one. It's a nice restaurant. It has all of the stuff. They have the buns that people have signed. I think they just spray them with some coating. Give me another quick nickel. So that's it. It's Pi Day. It's happy birthday to Einstein and the Toledo Mobile Radio Association at Owens Community College. I don't know the time right off the hand, but I'll look it up and post it on the blue screen, and then you can redistribute that. And today is the Nor's Hamfest luncheon in downtown Elyria at the Foundry Bar and Restaurant. So if anybody wants to come around noon, everyone is welcome. So there you go. KE8 MMY. Boy, yeah. My mouth's not working yet this morning. KE8 MMY. Back to you, Stephen.
W8WKY.
K8MMY, W8WKY, we do appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, I knew about the luncheon. I get those messages, and I was at the Tuesday one, the first Tuesday of the month for the Nor's luncheon. And I was thinking about going to today's. I know Doug and his wife, Newhams, just joined your club, and he's a really good friend of mine. And he may be listening. I texted him earlier and said I was running the net, so he may check in the next check-in section. But, yeah, good people there. And I was thinking about going to the luncheon today. But anyways, and then you reminded me of, yeah, that's the other thing. Klinger on MASH, the thing that he told everybody about was Tony Paco's and the Toledo Mud Hens, because as we all know, Jamie Farr is from Toledo. So, you know. And I looked it up the other day, and he's still around. I was hoping that he was, because I hate looking people up and seeing that they passed at some point, but apparently he's still around. So, and that's good to know. Who knows? Maybe you'll run into him at some point. That would be cool to see him at the Tony Paco's. Boy, that'd be funny. So anyways, great to have you here, my friend, and please be safe when you go down there. K8SFS, W8WKY. Mark, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here today. K8SFS, W8WKY. Mark, if you're still around out there in Wadsworth, you're up, my friend.
I know you called me. Sorry. And we got 30 degree right now, and it's supposed to get up to, I don't know, 42, 44. Something like that today. It was really windy yesterday. And I know I was out there. I was checking my car out yesterday. And yeah, it was pretty windy. But other than that, doing okay and everything. And I don't have the gas price. And sorry, you know, but let me drop this for a bit. Yeah, anyhow, I had a doctor appointment for Monday, and they called yesterday and told me that they have to change. The doctor ain't going to be in there Monday. So now I got it on April 30. this is the infection disease doctor. I never met this doctor before, so this is the first time I'm going to see him at that in June. And see, I got an infection in my bladder, and I hope he's fine now, or she's fine now. And but although that, we'll see on April 30 on that. But anyhow, just laying here on my bed listening to you guys talking and doing okay and everything. And so I'm going to give it back to you, Stephanie. You're running the net good today. K8, sir, Pato, sir.
Stephanie, you copy NEWS?
Yeah, I copied you, Bill. I'll jump on you in just 1 second. I'm going to run 2 more people. I'll run you, and then I'll run Mark. But give me 1 second. K8SFS, W8WKY. We do appreciate you, Mark, for joining us all the time. Thank you so much, and we'll have to say a prayer for you, my friend. And you've been a wonderful person and a good member in the club, and we want to make sure that that happens and stays going for quite a few years, as a matter of fact, because, I mean, look, you got so many new things that happened to you, including that new bed that Phil helped you set up. So that's very, very cool. So we got to get you moving forward in that. K8HNK, we do appreciate the in and out from Elmer, so thank you so much for that. We're going to move over to A8CT, W8WKY. Craig, you're up, my friend. It is great to have you here today.
W8WKY. Good morning, Stefan. Yes, the sun is up. The wind has calmed way down, and it's going to be a beautiful day because it's Pie Day. So everybody needs to go out and have a slice. No, not pizza, pie. All right. To all the Barometer Netters out there, have a wonderful day. Enjoy the sun, and think about it. In a few weeks, we're going to be complaining about how fast the grass is growing. So with that, may all of your troubles be greater than all of your trials. Go out and make somebody smile, because it will make you feel better. And back to you, Stefan. Thank you for doing the NCO position this morning. This is AA8CT, back to W8WKY. 73 is my friend, and we will definitely catch you down the log.
A8CT, W8WKY. We do appreciate you, Craig. Thank you so much for all that you do. And another fellow net control operator. So very, very cool. All right, I heard this person talking to Jim this morning, which seems like an eternity ago, probably about 40 minutes or so, 45, 46 minutes ago, on how many dogs he had on his lap. That may have changed since Jim was talking with him, so we'll see if that quota or that number has gone up or down. I think it started with 0 at that moment. But we're going to find that out. KD8, ZSH, W8WKY. Randy, you're up, my friend. Great to have you here today. You got any dogs on your lap now, or is it just still cleared away?
KD8, ZSH. Good morning, Stefan. Morning, everybody. Oh, got one up. She got up here just a little bit ago. Snuggled down in. She's happy as a bug in a rug, as the old saying goes. Just want to say hi to everybody. It was windy. Got a call last night from Bob and Janet. They said their power went out like 6 times in 10 minutes, so it was kind of off and on type of situation with the power. Usually we're the ones that lose power at the drop of a hat, but for some strange reason we didn't. So, and I'm not complaining. I am grateful to the Lord for that. So, hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the day. There's going to be a lot of people cleaning up messes and stuff this weekend from the windstorm. So, pray for them. Pray for you. Pray for me. This is KD8 GSH Clear, back to net. 73s, everybody.
Juliet Victor. Good morning.
All right, before I say goodbye to Randy, all I heard was Juliet Victor. So if you want to give me that call, I'll throw you on the log and put you down when we take another group of check-ins. All I heard was Juliet Victor, if you want to give that to me again.
Okay, Stefan. And good morning to Randy. Whiskey 2, Alpha, Juliet, Victor. Anthony.
All right, Anthony, we do appreciate that. I got a couple more people, and then I'll put you on the list that I take my next check-ins, and then we'll move you into there. So, NAWS. Oh, first of all, thank you, Randy, for the check-in. We do appreciate you, my friend, KD8ZSH. And, yeah, we'll be glad to hear you the next time. Probably I'm on again in 2 Saturdays. So, near the end of the month. Well, the last Saturday of the month, I should say. Second last Saturday. I don't remember how many Saturdays are in this month. But anyways, I'm on the 4th one. And then our VE session will be the first Saturday of April. So anyways, thanks for being here, my friend. NAWS, W8, WKY. Bill and Judy, you're up, my friends. Great to have you here today. You're falling asleep on me, Bill, or something. I'm glad I got you on the text message.
W8WKY.
WB, NAWS, do you still copy?
Yep, I copy you. Go ahead, Bill.
Okay, I don't know what the problem is yet. I'll find it somehow. Sorry about all the confusion. All the indications were that I was putting out full power, but nobody could hear me. So, anyway, did you get anything at all, or should I do it all over?
We didn't hear a single word from you when I called you earlier today twice, so yeah, you might as well give us whatever you're giving us.
Okay. My air quality index is 34. My tropo's at a 0. My sunrise 7:40. My sunset 7:36. 11. Like today, 11 hours 55 minutes. And it's not in order. Spaceweather.com. 10,000 Starlink. Yeah, SpaceX is on the verge of having 10,000 Starlinks in orbit around the Earth. If today's scheduled launch of mission Starlink 1048 happens as planned, it will add 29 Starlinks to the meteospheric mega constellation, pushing the total to over 10K. Is this a good thing? I don't think so. A lot of other people think that too. And happy Pi Day. May 14th is Pi Day. That's a repeat article. Currently there's 7 sunspot groups on the sun. Okay, let's move back to this one. I got 28 degrees this morning. Humidity 72%. Wind speed 7 miles an hour. Barometer 30.09. 2.20 degrees, visibility 10 miles. Prediction for today is mostly sunny with a high near 44. Northwest winds 5 to 11 miles an hour with gusts at 25 miles an hour. It'll be windy, but not as bad as it has been quite a while. Okay, I think I got one more here, if I can find it. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Solar flux indices at 120, sunspot number 54. A is 24, K is 4. Geomagnetic field is active, no E-skip predicted. And I think that's about it for me, Stefan. Sorry about all the confusion. I'll be working on all of the problems today. W8WKY in the group with NAWS at the mic. 7-3 everyone, NAWS.
NAWS, W8, WKY, we do appreciate you, Bill and Judy. And yeah, I didn't know if you're going to be at the luncheon, but maybe I'll reach out to you later. I was thinking I wasn't going to go, but I think maybe I'll go now because I'd like to see Doug and Teresa as well. so I'm not sure, but I think more than likely I might be going. I've talked myself into it. It's a long process. I'm just kidding. But it's great to hear you. You know that if you need something and I can do it, I'd be glad to. So if there's anything that you need, just reach out and we'll see if I have the wherewithal and the knowledge to do it. I tell you what, though, Doug is very, very knowledgeable in lots of stuff. So, including electronics, he makes his own circuit boards and everything. So that if you reached out to Mr. Smith, he'd probably be able to help you. And he likes you. He really does. He likes you and Judy a lot. But very cool to hear you this morning. WB6 BJN WAWKY. Mark, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you down in Tennessee, which I'll be down in Tennessee in the first week of May for our annual fishing trip. We always go down there the Friday before Mother's Day, and we come back the Saturday before Mother's Day, so that way Mother doesn't fry us. We got to be home by Mother's Day. You're up, Mark. Great to have you.
Hey, good morning, Stefan, WB6DJ, and Mark in Middle Tennessee. And good morning to you. Good morning to everyone. Let's see. Currently, we have 30.08.4 on the barometer, and it is rising. Wow, the barometer is going up instead of what it should be doing is going down, given what they're talking about in weather. But maybe that's going to happen in the next 24. But 30.08 right now and rising. 39.4 degrees and 34 degrees on the dew point. Humidity, 82%. Last lightning strike was 3 days ago. Southeast at 2 miles an hour. No rain today, no rain yesterday, and supposed to be some severe weather in here tomorrow night. In fact, they're saying winds in excess of 70 miles an hour in thunderstorms. And a lot of the Midwest and eventually the eastern seaboard, even Ohio, Michigan, and Wisconsin, Illinois. Let me take a breath. After today and early tomorrow is going to fall out of the pattern, and it's going to get cold. In fact, they're talking blizzard conditions in some places further north, and snow, even in Tennessee. The crazy thing about that is if you go to the West Coast right now, they will have a pattern exactly the opposite with extreme heat. And that can be the case with these patterns as you get extreme conditions different in the West than you do in the East. So extreme cold for the East, the Midwest and East. So those of you who have eagerly planted a garden, I have some bad news that it could freeze, and a major freeze by Sunday night, Monday morning for a lot of people and into Tuesday. Beyond that, it's going to warm up about middle of the week as that low gets back out of everybody's hair and high pressure rebuilds back in, so we should get some nicer weather toward the end of the week. So everybody pay attention to the weather, be safe, and I won't hold it too long here, try to make it a little shorter. Back to you there, Stefan. It's going to be a wild weather a couple of days coming up for a lot of people. Back to you, WB6DJ.
WB6BJN, WAWKY. We do appreciate you, Mark. Yeah, you're getting the weather we just had. We had just this last yesterday through early this morning. We had the 50 to 70 mile per hour winds. It's cold, and our power went off. As a matter of fact, I said that a little bit earlier today, and didn't come back on. It went off around 3 o'clock in the afternoon when the wind started, and it didn't come back until about 1 or 2 this morning. So, anyways, long story short, it was a kind of a freaky day. We do have a generator, so that's good. But whenever that's on, this is the first time that I actually flashed the lights a little bit. So I got to call up the electrical guy and find out what that was, because a generator works fine and it always has, but we just don't know what that is at this point. But anyways, that being said, great to have you here, my friend. All right, So I got a couple people on my list, and I am going to take some more check-ins. I'll read the two people that I have on the list right now. They're going to start our new list, and that is W2AJV Anthony and N8MWY Donald, and I'm looking for check-ins. This will probably be the last round of check-ins, I'm hoping, and then we'll move it over to W8CTM Carrie to close this out, but I'm looking for check-ins. If you'd like to check into the net, please give me your call sign phonetically, then followed by alphanumerically. Please, phonetically first, alphanumerically second. Helps me get you on the log a little bit better, and let me know if you're a short-time mobile or in and out, and we will do effectively whatever you say. So, check-ins, check-ins, check-ins. Please give me your call sign phonetically, alphanumerically, and thank you to all of our listeners, wherever you are. And if you are listening, run over to hamstudy.org. No affiliation, but that's where you can start to learn to get your first ticket, your tech license. Hamstudy.org is a great place to start. Any check-ins, please call.
W8WKY.
Kilo Echo 8,
November
Echo Golf
8,
Hotel,
Juliet, Kilo,
KE8GGH, Kevin
Oscar,
Hiram.
N8JKO, Joe in Willoughby via EchoLink.
Just in case we walked on each other, KE8GGH, Kilo Echo 8, Echo Golf Hotel, Kevin and Hiram.
November 8, Victor Foxtrot Kilo, N8 BFK, Cliff, Columbia Station.
Kilo Echo 8, Charlie Hotel Papa, K8 CHP, Mike in Jackson Township, in and out.
All right, let me pick it up there. All right, we picked up KE8EGH, N8JKO, N8VFK, KE8CHP, who was in and out, and did I miss anyone? I already had W2AJV and N8MWY on my list. Anyone else that I may have missed, please let me know.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Alpha Zulu Delta, KF8 AZD, Jeff, New Franklin, Ohio.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Foxtrot India Tango, KF8 FIT, Bob Uniontown. In and out.
All right, let me pick it up there. I picked up KF8AZD, Jeff, and I picked up KF8FIT. All right, I'm going to run up to where we start, and that is at the beginning. That's what my music teacher used to always tell me. W2AJV, W8WKY. Anthony, it's great to have you here today, my friend. You are up.
Thank you, Stefan, and good morning. Good morning, everyone on the net. I am in South Jersey, for any of you who don't know, and our weather is quite moderate today. And I'm in South Jersey. I'm on the East Coast, naturally, and I'm situated halfway between Philly and Atlantic City, and we're looking for a high of 47 today and a low of 32, and our weather is quite moderate. So with that, I'll say 7-3 to everybody on the net. And that gentleman in Willoughby, that reminds me of a Twilight Zone adventure that had Willoughby in the title. So with that, Stefan, you're doing a great job with the net, but you don't need me to tell you that. And 7-3 all the way around. W2 AJV back to net control. 7-3 clear.
W2AJV, W8WKY, we do appreciate you, Anthony. If you go over to my QRZ page, look up N8WB on QRZ, you'll hear my story of my ham radio journey, and amongst that story, starting me out, a good friend of mine used to live here in Portage Lakes, and before that, Columbia Station, Bob and Joyce Janicek. And Bob's brother, Lou, was a ham for years, and he's the one who got the ball rolling. I got my license because of N2CYY, Lou Janicek, and he lives in Jersey with his family, and Bob and Joyce moved out back to Jersey from his home state in 2020, from Cleveland for like 20-some years. So go over there to the page, give that a read, and then reach out to me sometime. That's pretty cool. I love to hear from people in Jersey. Been out there several times, many times, as a matter of fact, Jersey and New York, and really like the area. So thank you, my friend, for joining us. Join us anytime, but go over to the QRZ page and take a look at that. I think you'll enjoy the story. I posted the whole rigmarole, as they say. N8MWY, W8WKY. Donald, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here today. Same name as my brother, so I'll pretend like I'm talking to him. Although I don't talk to him much, and I'm trying to get him on amateur radio. It's great to have you here.
N8MWY, how's the copy?
Copy's good. It's readable. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, want to make sure I haven't transmitted since all the wind blew through yesterday. Glad to know everything's pretty much still in place. N8MWY over here in Minerva, Ohio, Stark County. Checking in on 147.39. And we made out pretty good yesterday. Had one real good gust that came through, and my gosh, it must have been 60 or 70 miles an hour. It was crazy. My 10-foot satellite dish, I still run a 10-foot Winegard C-band satellite dish from the early 90s, and it got blown out of alignment. So that's kind of surprising. The mount is built like a brick, you know what, and takes a lot to knock it out of alignment, but apparently it did. So I'll be going out there later with the meter and get that baby back into alignment. So that's about it from here. Hope everybody else did well in the winds yesterday and are able to enjoy their weekend. 7-3 is from November 8th, Mike Whiskey Yankee.
N8MWY, W8WKY, we do appreciate you, Mr. Donald, for being here. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, in the early 80s, I worked with a friend of mine in Newberry, Ohio, and I worked for a company called Pinzoni Communications, and Pinzoni made satellite receivers for the broadcast industry, and they were, at one point, he had satellite receivers in almost every television station in the world, or in the United States, I should say. I don't think the world, but and he used to put up the satellite dishes for the big ones, including his biggest one was Home Shopping Network. We built dishes there. The guy that did that also had a pilot's license, so he had a plane. Not my boss, Basil Pinzoni, but the other gentleman. And he would fly to those places and be the construction guy and put up some of those big satellites. But I remember that really well because we used to have to test the dishes out, the receivers out near us in Newberry and all that cool stuff back in the day. But great to hear that you have one still going. And that's really, really cool. K8EGH, W8WKY. Kevin, you're up, my friend. And I was over at John and Ken's place the other day, a couple weeks ago, with my nephews. I took my 5-year-old and 6-year-old Carter and Jacob over to the Maple House. And I saw that they switched everything over to oil last year. And that was pretty interesting because they weren't burning any wood this year. And it's really a lot cleaner in the sugar shack. Not all that smoke and stuff, and not even any steam anymore. So kind of interesting. You're up, my friend Kevin. It's great to have you.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, we survived yesterday. We did lose power until about 9 o'clock, but luckily we have a generator, and it was a good thing I put it on the detached garage because don't hear it in the house, which is nice.
And, yeah, we had a tree come down, just missed the house. No damage done to anything. It was a pine tree, so good-sized pine tree. We got a couple of them left around here. I think I'm going to take those bad boys down this year. But anyway, yeah, oil. Boy, I don't know. I think of maple boiling, the firewood, the smell, but hey, it's cleaner for everybody inside, and that whatever helps. And but yeah, I got grandkids coming over today, or actually for the weekend, 3 of them. And yeah, that's about it. Everybody enjoy this beautiful day coming up tomorrow. I think it's going to be 70. And yeah, it's a roller coaster on the weather. So, oh well, to Ohio. KE8EGH.
W8WKY.
K8EGHW8WKY, we do appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's just a passing fad, though. The weather, 70 degrees. We live in Ohio, man. Nobody actually believes it from the state, 70 degrees. 20 minutes later, it could be 7 degrees. But we do appreciate you being here. And yeah, Tuesday is top of the morning to you, Governor. I know that's English, but I can't get a good Irish one for some reason. I got a friend who can do a really good Irish one. I got to work on that. So I can do one of the amateur radio news lines in my Irish accent. But anyway, which is funny because my grandfather was Irish. He was Irish on my mother's side. So, and if you're interested or anybody's interested, the newest amateur radio news line, which came out yesterday, yours truly recorded. I sat in the anchor's chair on Thursday to record it. So good stories in there. Go look it up. And if you're here on the repeater for Sarah before the net on Tuesday, you'll hear it. So very, very cool. NAJKOW8WKY, my friend from Tri-C. Joe, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here today.
That was a long time ago, Stefan. This is November 8th, Juliet Kilo Oscar, and good morning, everybody on the net. Well, in our current location, we have 32 degrees, 58% humidity, which I will be happy to accept. Thankfully, the wind is west-northwest, 14 miles per hour. Some gusts up to 20 miles per hour, but boy, yesterday, the gusts came up. I was almost ready to say we're not in Kansas anymore. But we're looking forward to a much better day. Otherwise, usual routine, supporting the grandkids, taking care of chores, maybe get a little ham radio time, I hope, but we will see. With that, I will send it back to Net Control with best wishes to all. Please take care. God bless, and 7-3. N8JKO, back to Net Control.
NAJKOW8WKY, we do appreciate you, Joe, being here. Thank you so much. Yeah, those are good things to shoot for. Very, very good things to shoot for. And, yeah, just especially spending time with the grandkids. I never had grandkids, but I do have nephews, so I can live vicariously through my brothers and my sister-in-law's children, because I get to spend time with them periodically doing stuff with Carter and Jacob. They're a blast when I get to have time with them, and I get to spend time with Carter for about an hour, picking them up from Streetsboro and taking them out to Willoughby, so in the afternoon on Friday. So it was cool. N8VMKW8WKY. Cliff, you're up, my friends. Great to have you here. Down there in Columbia Station, I said a little bit earlier that Bob and Joyce, he's KD8LIV. He and I got our licenses together, Bob Janicek, and they lived there. That's the first time I met them, when they were in Columbia Station, right off of the end of Clark Road. But it's great to have you here this morning, Cliff.
WKY and Net, N8VFK. Good morning, Stefan, and all listeners out there. Yeah, Columbia Station's nice. I like it here. I've been here about 35 years now, and my feet are planted. I'm not moving. Let's see. I've got 30 degrees on the temperature. I got 22-degree dew point, 73% humidity, barometer 30.14, and slowly rising. And my wind indicator is not high enough, so I don't get a good reading on that. But it was really spinning yesterday. I think since I put my Diamond 510 up on a temporary mount tripod, last August, I believe it was. That was probably some of the most winds I've seen at any time since then. And I was watching that whip just whipping around, and thankfully the binder straps I've got locking the tripod to the trailer, they were being stretched, but they held it down, and it's still vertical. I did hear on the news this morning, local weather, that Burke Lakefront actually recorded the highest wind speed of 84 miles an hour yesterday. That's some strong winds. Let's see. And yesterday I did have a little bit of a power flicker. I lost it momentarily, but it never stayed off long enough for my generator to fire up. But I was sitting in my garage where my radio's at, and I noticed right away, it's like, my radio don't have power either, and it's like, duh, I don't have anything for backup on it. So I'm going to be looking at some battery options, and if not just for a backup power, maybe just use battery for primary with a charger on it to keep the batteries up to speed. That's something I got to do some research on. I know some people do that. I believe you even said you got batteries on your radio, and I know to look for the LiPo batteries. Those seem to be the ticket. So, but Stephen, thanks for picking me up. It's great listening to the net this morning. You do a good job, and I'll hand it back over to you. W8 WKY N8 VFK 73s, everyone.
BFK, W8, WKY, we do appreciate you, Cliff. Yeah, when Bob and Joyce Janicek lived out there, they lived at the end of Clark Road. And I forgot the name of the road it dead-ended to. Dead-ended it. But I know Clark, if you take Clark all the way out to Pearl Road, their road is where the Down Under pub and the restaurant is, right there on 42, almost at the corner of 42 and 82. That turns into Clark down where they were. And they had a turnaround in their drive. 4-car garage, turnaround, and a beautiful place, beautiful house. And they had a golf course behind them, and we golfed there all the time. We used to have flex time at Tri-C, and Joyce worked at Tri-C, so she would be off on Friday. I'd be off a half-day Friday, off on a half-day. Bob would be off in the summer, so we'd golf there. And I think the only thing that I really don't like about Columbia Station, although it's nice places, they took those beautiful golf courses, both of them, one behind their house and one at the end of Columbia Road and Bagley Road, and they turned them into housing developments, which is, man, those were beautiful places, and no more golf. I mean, there's like, I think, one place, but it's small down there. But other than that, it's a great place. It really was. Spent a lot of time down there at their house over many years. KE8 CHP W8 WKY was in and out, and I want to say thank you for that, Mike, and please be safe wherever you're at. And then we're going to move over to KF8 AZD W8 WKY. Jeff, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here today.
Hello, this is Kilo Foxtrot 8 Alpha Zulu Delta, transmitting from the Southwind Racing station here in the Portage Lakes. We are actually in the mobile rig right now, heading towards our Pinewood Derby for the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts. I'm one of the den leaders in Troop 3118, and we're actually headed out there to set up the track this morning, and we're going to have a Pinewood Derby race. I'm not going to win, never do. My son's not going to win, he never does. But we're going to do our best. I hope everybody survived the winds last night. I heard Porkfront Lakefront had 85 mile an hour. My work, we recorded 82 miles an hour up there in Fairport, Ohio, at the U.S. Coast Guard Station. Hopefully everybody's towers stayed in the same position they were before the wind. And that's it. This is Kilo Foxtrot 8 Alpha Zulu Delta. Back to net.
KF8AZD W8 WKY. Well, I absolutely love the Pinewood Derby. I was in an organization years ago at church when I was a youngster called Royal Rangers, and we had our Pinewood Derby, and that was a great thing. Speaking of that, I just talked about Bob and Joyce Janicek. When they moved from Columbia Station by the golf course, they actually moved out for the last 12 years of their stay in Ohio before they moved back to Jersey in 2020. at the end of the golf course, Turkey Foot Golf Course. So they were in that development way back there, right off of Silk Court. They were the last house right in front of the lake. So they built the standard stuff when they moved out to Porter's Lake, the dock, and they bought the pontoon, and they just decided they didn't want to stay there anymore because Bob's family and Joyce's, all of her family from her first marriage, were all in New York, New Jersey. So they packed up and left in 2020 and didn't realize they were moving into a COVID area. And that's where the story began for them there again. So anyways, but great to hear you, my friend, and great to have you here today. We're going to move over to KF8, FIT, W8, WKY. Great call sign with the word fit in it. So you're probably not going to be getting pie for Pi Day, but maybe you are. It's great to have you here, Bob. KF8, FIT, if you're still here. All right, not hearing him anymore, but maybe he'll check in right after Carrie. So we're going to move over to Carrie. We're at about 8:17. Actually, my birthday, 8:17. Good time to end. The time and the birthday. I always hate doing this, but I love hearing Carrie's voice, so we're going to throw it over to Carrie to close us down. W8CTM, W8WQI. Carrie, my friend, you are up down there in Portage Lakes area. You're up, my friend. It's great to have you here today.
Good morning, Stefan, and good morning to all the check-ins and listeners out there on this super Saturday morning. Well, it isn't looking nice out there today, but a bit chilly, but not near as cold as it'll be the rest of the week. I think tomorrow's supposed to be pretty warm, but next week it will have some cold days in there for sure. Anyway, it's February, and it's almost the middle of February, so hopefully the weather, it'll start warming up and we'll actually have a spring that'll last for more than 2 or 3 days. But anyway, that's the way it works. Well, I hope everybody survived the wind yesterday. My gosh, I don't know if I've ever seen wind like that last for that many hours. You know, it was just constant from mid-afternoon till after midnight. I don't know. I went to bed and it was still really blowing out there, but hopefully nobody had any damage and trees didn't take their whatever down. Who knows? But anyway, it was a windy day, and hopefully we don't have any of those when the trees are out in full leaf, because I think we'd have a lot more trees on the ground than what happened yesterday if it was later in the year. Anyway, Stefan, I really don't have anything this morning. Great debt, yeah, well, it's always a great debt. You know, that's the way it works with the Barometer Net. It's always a great net every morning. Every morning except Sunday. That's the day I get to sleep in anyhow. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great day and the week goes well for everybody. And I'll just say 73 here. This is W8CTM, Carrie at Portage Lakes. And we'll turn it back to N8WB there, Stefan, and you can wrap it up and whatever you got to do. Hope everybody has a great weekend out there. 73 all, and back to you there, Stefan.
W8CTM, W8WKY, we do appreciate you, Carrie, always being here, closing us out, and yeah, great to have you around. And I know the weather is warming up, so you're going to be putting the battery back in your electric trike and buzzing around the Portage Lakes area. It'll be great to see you maybe one of these days. In this, once we get to warmer weather, we can hook up sometime and go to lunch or something someplace. That would be kind of cool. Meet up for lunch. down there in Porter's Lake. Still like the area, even though Bob and Joyce don't live there anymore. And I had friends on their street, but once they moved away, seemed none of them wanted to stay friends with me. Not that there was an issue or anything, that anything went wrong. It's just like Bob and Joyce were kind of the catalyst. So they lived, like I said, at the end of Turkey Foot, and then that all got changed too, because they're building housing on that one side, the lake side of Lake 9 is what they called it. Somebody bought the whole golf course, and they're turning that into houses too. We were talking about where they originally lived in Columbia Station, and that all got turned into houses, those golf courses as well. So there you have it, man. That's what you do. You buy a golf course and build housing. There it is, man. But great to have you here. All right, 1 second per time. This is November 8 Whiskey Bravo, running the Sarah Saturday Barometer Net. W8WKY is our call sign for Sarah, and I always have a great time doing it. And I always say this because I'm pretty sure that I know that it was true. Carrie W8CTM was one of the first people to talk to me on my amateur ham radio HT when I checked in out there, and I still remember that day. It was a great day. It was almost magical after I got my license and I checked in and I heard somebody come back to me. And that's why I'm still here doing these. Thanks to everyone who participated in today's net. Don't forget that Breakfast at Bueller's is in Wadsworth on Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. Why you'd be there eating breakfast rather than being on the net, I don't know. Although the Buellers do have good food, including their pork. They have a pork, it's not a roast, it's a pork loaf, like a meatloaf, but with pork, and they put this sweet sauce on top of it. Man, is it good. So anyways, at this time, we're going to close the net with 33 check-ins. I enjoy amateur radio. I enjoy this club. I enjoy everything about talking with all of you, and I do appreciate all of you. And please be safe, because we want to hear you again on the radio. Not tomorrow, because we're not here tomorrow. The repeater's open, but we're not doing a net on Sunday. But we want to hear you again on Monday morning, so everyone please be safe. And we'll talk to you soon. Lord willing, you'll hear me in 2 weeks on a Saturday. This repeater is returned to normal amateur use. November 8 Whiskey Bravo and Whiskey 8 Whiskey Kilo Yankee are both clear. 73, my friends. Have a great day. And if you're heading out to Toledo Ham Fest, please be safe. See you all down the road.
Late check-in from November 8, November Delta Lima.
November 8, November Delta Lima.
Yes, I just wanted to get in there, Stefan. I heard a little bit of your net, the latter part, and great job as always. You always make it interesting and helpful. So thanks for letting me do a late check-in there. Sounding good. Your audio's great. N8NDL, and I'll let you close down the net. Have a wonderful day.
N8NDL, W8WKY, or I should say I'm not doing the net now, N8WB. And if anybody's listening, the sound of my voice, as they say, N8NDL is one of my best friends, Dr. Jack Nilsett, and you may or may not know him as Mr. Compact Tenna. So Dr. Jack is the Compact Tenna owner, operator, maker, bottle washer, you name it. And I got him on my vehicle, I got him in my house, I got him on my tower. And I love the Compact Tennas. So, and they're all over the United States. They are. And I was very blessed to see Dr. Jack, and it was great to see you, Dr. Jack, the other day at your house for that little get-together. And, yeah, thank you for checking in. I do appreciate you, always. And, yeah, Dr. Jack, Compact Tenna, reach out to him sometime. If you hear him on the net sometime, reach out to him, say hello. And go look up the Hamvention. Under the DX Engineering banner, and you'll see the Compact Tenna information right there. But great to hear you, Dr. Jack. We do appreciate you, my friend, and I will definitely get in touch with you by text sometime later today. But 73, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll close it down.
Kilo Foxtrot 6, Papa Oscar Echo.
I heard somebody trying to check in there. Who was that?
Christian, KF6 POE.
All right, KF6 POE. I'm going to turn the radio off right after you, but that ended. But go ahead, my friend. It's great to have you here today.
Yeah, I was excited all night long listening to check into the net, and then and hear about how everybody's power was off and the trees were down, and it was total pandemonium. Because that's the way it is over at my place here. But it appears it's only like within a 10-block radius we've been without power since 2 p.m., which means no water, and because that controls the well and everything else. So I was waiting for all the helpful tidbits from everyone in the net about how they're dealing with it, and then I listen, and everybody's fine. And we're wondering how we're going to charge everything. We already used our jackery and such over here off of 18 and South Medina Line Road. Back to you, Stephen.
Yeah, Christian, yeah, we have, I live off of 18 and State Road, so in Sharon Township. But we have a generator that went on, kicked on right when the power went off, and that's a natural gas one. And I got to get someone to take a look at it because this is the first time that the lights kind of flickered a bit on it, so I got to find out what's wrong. But it's always checked out fine, and it runs its test system every Monday. And they come down once a year and check it out. So it's never had a problem before, but this year was the first time that the lights flashed a little bit. So I was glad that it went on this morning so I could run the net, the regular power, I should say. So generator went off about 1 o'clock. I think that's when they finally got the mains back on. But, yeah, not a lot of people talking about, other than the wind and the damage, and our whole driveway's filled with branches and stuff like that. But I'll send it back to you one last time, and I'll be clear on your 73. KF6 POE, November 8, Whiskey Bravo.
NAWE, Kilo Foxtrot 6, POE. Very good. I'll look into that generator. I got everything ready when we had the ice and snow, and then things started dwindling, and then when the wind hit, it surprised us. But I shall persevere. And today I will shoot a video of our Pi Day. My mom sent me a Pi tin with Pi written out to about almost 100 digits. But I've memorized over 100 digits of Pi, so I'll make a little video for YouTube and such. Recite Pi while eating Pi under the most grave circumstances. With that, I'll pass it back to you. Thanks. Great talking to you as always, Stephen. And have a great Pi Day. This is Kilo Foxtrot 6. Peace on Earth. Going USL 73.
73 NAWB. Have a great day. Be safe.
NAWB, WADLM. How are you, Stephen?